Welcome to another video. In today's video, we're in the 2014 Mustang Sherrod edition. Now, starting off with the outward appearance of this Mustang, it definitely does not look like your average Mustang from the factory. I mean, this thing just looks very bold, very out there. It definitely stands out. If you park this car in any parking lot, it's definitely going to stick out from everything that's in the parking lot with you. I mean, it just looks incredible. I think with the red wheels, with the red hood, the silver accents, I mean, definitely unique, especially with those wheels. You know, some people might like it, some people might not like it, but I definitely think it, like I said, this car, it makes it stand out even more. Just the way this red and black, the way this car is flowing with that combination, I just think is really great. You go to the back of the car, and the exhaust is actually on the side of the car, and I'll talk more about that later. But I just think it cleans up the back end in a way, not having the exhaust tips right there, so you really get to admire the back end. Of course, back there you have your sequential tail lights that all Mustangs have, or at least the newer Mustangs from 2011 and up have that in them, and I just think that's really cool. The 1, 2, 3 just sequential features, and I love that about my own Mustang, and I still love that in this Mustang. And the 13 to 14 Mustangs, I just think the back end of these cars just look great with the smoke tail lights, like I talked about. They're already sequential, and just the back end of this car just really looks great. I mean, it screams American, and you know, it's a really nice throwback to the previous Mustangs and stuff like that, and it's just great how Ford did that. And in the front of the vehicle, you of course have this great hood, like I talked about, the red hood with the silver accents, with the hood vents up there that actually are functional with this 5-liter V8, and I'll talk more about the engine later. But I mean, everything in this car just flows together. You have the headlights up front with the running LEDs, daytime running LEDs, and I just think that is amazing. The way it looks is just so mean, so great, and it's still modern, but yet it has a throwback look to it, and I just really like this appearance. I mean, I could really go on for days about this. As most people know, I'm a huge Mustang fan, and I could really talk about this car for hours, just the actual appearance of it. I mean, if you look at it from the side, it also has this very nice stance, and to remind you that this is not a regular Mustang, you also has an SSVT up front that signifies that, you know, this is a special edition of a Mustang. And you know, I actually have never seen this car, never even heard of it until today, until I hopped in it, and you know, turning it on, and I'll get to more about that because it just sounds great right now. But the outward appearance of this car is incredible. Now, on the interior of this vehicle, now this vehicle is the Sherrod edition Mustang, but it was based off the Mustang GT Premium, and I really do like the interior of this car. You know, it still has some plastic here and there, but it still has very nice seats. The seats that I'm sitting in, you know, the bolsters could be a lot more aggressive, but they're still very nice to sit in. I like the leather. I really like the way everything in this interior flows together. Like I did say already, there's a little bit of plastic here and there. You do have this nice steering wheel. You know, it's really nice to grab onto the leather in this. I think it would hold up over time. And also behind the steering wheel, of course, you have your gauges. To the left, you have your miles per hour. To the right, you have your RPMs, which is very essential considering the fact that this is a 6-speed manual, and I'll get more about that later. But then you, in the middle of this now, since this is the premium, like I said, you have the screen here, and basically, actually, what is on the 15 through 17 Mustangs, you have this in the premium edition. This is the only way to get this on the 13 through 14 Mustangs, is to actually have a premium. So you have track apps on here, and that is your accelerometer, your acceleration timer. So basically, that's going to, the accelerometer display is like G-forces and stuff like that. Acceleration timer, if you like going to the track, doing your 0 to 60 or quarter-mile stuff, that's really cool. Now, it is track use only, so you have to be on a closed course to use that. You have your settings under here, so you can go to My Color, change the color that is on the screen with your actual gauge color, so you can have white, different colors like that. You have your ambient lighting control, so you know, that's in your cup holders, your in the door handle, stuff like that, down by the footwell where your feet are at night. You can change the different colors of that, and I think it's really cool. Like I said in previous videos, I like the ambient lighting because I feel like it really gives you kind of a way to change your or customize your interior from the factory, and it's just right built in there. Then you have, of course, your fuel economy right here. Now this car gets about 15 miles per gallon city and 25 highway, and I'll get more into that because I definitely think that miles per gallon is worth it. And then, of course, you have your trip computer. So, all in all, you know, it really is a nice car, especially what you get and the power that's in this car. And I'll definitely talk more about that later. Now, as far as room in this Mustang, now, a lot of people think that Mustangs are cramped, and they're really not. I actually personally do own a 2016 Mustang, and I'll tell you that I'm very used to the size of the Mustang. And, you know, visibility in these Mustangs are really nice. Visibility in this Mustang might be a little bit reduced just because you have the spoiler in the back, but it's really not that big. I can still see fine out the back and still see cars and stuff like that when I'm driving. You of course have your mirrors here on the left and the right. They also have blind spot mirror a blind spot mirror right there. And I was just looking more around, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go back to the wheel because I just looked at it. And of course you have the Mustang pony running, and Mustangs have been around for I think 52 years now. The 50th anniversary was in 2015. That's when they changed to the S550 body style. And you know, Mustangs, I feel like they have a place in everyone's heart. Everyone knows what a Mustang is, and in a way, I'm gonna go ahead and say this, even though some people may agree with, some people not, but I feel like Mustang is up there with Lamborghini, not as far as the performance and everything, but as how many people know it. Everyone knows a Mustang. When you see a Mustang, you definitely know it. Like when you see a Lamborghini, you definitely know a Lamborghini. Now, me growing up, Camaros and Dodges, they weren't the prominent vehicle around. They actually were discontinued for the moment, so all I really knew was Mustangs. You know, I used to think they're the fastest in the world, and I know that now, but just knowing that they still have so much history and power behind them, and it just means so much to America. In my opinion, that this you could debate it, but between this and the Corvette, I would choose the Mustang as America's sports car or muscle car. I just love Mustangs and everything that's just behind them, the rawness of the engine and stuff like that, and I just think it screams America. So now what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and take this Mustang on a drive, and I can tell you right now, I'm really looking forward to it. So let's go ahead and start it up. And you have that 5-liter V8, just starts up, just rumbles everything, and oh man. Like, you just have to love that sound. The sound of a V8 turning on does not beat it. And like I already told you guys, this has a side exit exhaust, and hearing that closer to you than it would be if it was going at the back is really nice. Let's go ahead and get on the road here. Okay, so we are currently in the 2014 Mustang GT, and I am going to go ahead and get on the power a little bit and tell you guys how it goes. So this thing just sounds absolutely sick, amazing power. You literally get up to speed so fast. I mean, that just felt so great in this car. Like I said, the exhaust on this thing sounds so incredible. Just from that startup that I told you guys about earlier, but now driving this thing, I can tell you guys that this thing is just, it's loud, man. Like, and you know, it sounds so good. It's not like too much in the cabin either. Like, you would think that this car would be, you know, extremely drony. And I'll tell you guys, I'll start cruising in a second at around 50 miles an hour, let you guys know how the drone is. But you know, I can tell you that's a lot louder, and I really want to roll down the windows just to listen to that exhaust. I mean, and the pops that you get, I don't know if you guys can really hear that well, but the pops that happen when you're coming down on the RPM, it's going down at around 3 to 2. You just get some incredible pops, and we're going to go ahead here and get on it again. Let's go ahead and do it again. And you get that little tire chirp again in the back. This thing is so much fun. I'm doing about 50 miles an hour here now, and man, oh man, like, and it's actually, this is ridiculously quiet. Like I said, I mean, you heard how loud that exhaust was right there, and it's no drone at all. I mean, doing 60 miles an hour around 1800 RPMs, and it's just completely silent right now. It sounds great, sounds nice, and it's quiet right now. I mean, you can have a conversation with the person beside you and still have that amazing exhaust note when you want it. And I just want to sit here and downshift and just listen to the engine again and just listen to that. So this car has about 420 horsepower and about 390 pound-feet of torque, and you can feel every single bit of that, and it just revs so smoothly. You know, a lot of cars, especially with the turbos that I've been driving, and you know, I do like turbos and stuff like that, but natural aspirated V8s, the way they just rev up so smoothly and nicely, and just all the power is so linear in just a natural engine. It's so nice, man. This engine, like I said, is a 5-liter V8, 420 horsepower, 390 pound-feet of torque, and also on this engine, since this is a special edition Mustang, this one actually has a Roush quarter intake on this. I'm not sure if it was put on by the previous owner or if it comes like this, but It does have a rush quarter intake on it, and you know, it doesn't add a butt ton of horsepower, but it definitely does add a little bit of sound in the induction noise. And like, I mean, this thing just sounds incredible. Like I said, you get a nice audio system, and then you also get a nice engine and a nice exhaust note. I mean, just listening to that just makes someone's day. At least it makes my day. It just sounds phenomenal. And even just sitting here at this stoplight that I'm at right now, you just have this nice little purr. It's not too loud. And you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and start off again, and just going through the gears in this car just sounds great. And this transmission is actually pretty nice now. You know, I could like a little bit more clunkier just for my taste, but from the factory, the MT82, a lot of people have different opinions on them. I personally think they're a good transmission. You know, I know they're not the best out there, but you know, I think they get the job done. They work really well, at least for what how I drive my Mustang and stuff like that. There's so many things that you can do to these cars to really get them to do what you want, especially in the aftermarket. The aftermarket for Mustangs are just ginormous. And this car has 6-piston Brembo brakes, which I'm about to use right now. And they definitely stop the car. I can tell you that right now. You're going to need it for, you know, the amount of power that this car has. Incredible car. Just an incredible, absolutely amazing Mustang, man. Like, so many people have different opinions on Mustangs, but it's really hard not to like them. I mean, they're so much fun. Just the feeling that you get from driving these things are just incredible. And just a little bump right there, and I can tell you, like I was talking about the rear suspension setup, it really does handle bumps nice for what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and use the brakes here, second downshift. And I definitely hear those bumps, and there we go, I'm hitting some more bumps. And the Mustang handles it well, it really does. Just puts a smile on my face. I really can't stop smiling because this car is just that much fun. It just has so much power to it. So wrapping up my time with this Mustang here, I can tell you that it is an amazing car all around. If you'd like to check this car out some more, you can go head on over to Capital Ford here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Like I said, this is a rare find. I did not hear about this Mustang until today. I did not even know the Sherrod Mustang existed, and I think it has a very bold appearance, like I already talked about. I think it's a very cool package that you get right here. And like I said, you can change anything on this car just because of the aftermarket support that is with this vehicle. So head on down to Capital Ford in Charlotte, North Carolina, if you'd like to find out more about this vehicle. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, put a thumbs up, comment on it, share it on your favorite social media platform, and I'll see you guys in another video.